Hello, everybody. Welcome into this Piano Tuner Success the Apex Way. This is a live stream, so this is Thursday, live stream webinar, and I've been talking to some of you guys about this, so I'm glad you're here. Just leave a comment down in there if you're new to this. If you log in, just leave a comment, say hi. I'll try to acknowledge you today. And if you're watching this on replay, then you can always leave a comment and I'll read those too, especially if they're on like YouTube or something. I'm Eric Roberts. I'm the founder, owner of Apex, and I'm just, mostly I'm a piano tuner. I'm a piano technician for the past 18 years. I've been able to work with amazing artists like John Legend, Harry Connick Jr., Craig Morgan. That's what I love about Sunday. Idina Menzel from Frozen, Tony Bennett, Garth Brooks, June Carter Cash, Reese Winans, he played for Steve Ray Vaughan, and Double Trouble way back in the day. Michael Webb from Hank Williams Jr., Harry Connick Jr. Did I say all these? Yeah, look at this. Look at this. This is just a long career here, and it's been getting heated up. I've been working with Jay Joyce from Neon Cross here in Nashville. He's done Miranda Lambert, Keith Urban, Carrie Underwood, and also I tuned for Eric Church, the Black Crowes, Orville Peck, Lanco Band, and many more. That's what's happening. That's what's been going on down here. I wanted to give sort of an introduction to who I am. This is me. This is my son Augie, my puppy Bear. He's down there taking a nap right now. And this is my wife Emily. And Emily's a stay-at-home mom. We are a single income family, and that's important because it's almost impossible anymore to do that. And we've been able to do that, and that lifestyle was because I found piano tuning. And we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about why are you here? You want a better future? You want more money? You love music and the arts? You could just be like, oh, I love pianos. I want to figure out how to mess with them. You want to be able to choose how much money you make. You want to work when you want to, make your own schedule. Guys, when you get up, you're in college, you're in high school, and everything's like, oh, it's going to be great. And at some point you realize, like, crap, I got to go to work every day. Oh, crap, I got to try to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. They used to ask me that stuff back in junior high school, elementary school. What do you want to be? And it's like, I want to be a firefighter. It's like, that's all you could think of. I definitely want to be a firefighter. That would have been awesome. But again, life goes on and you just realize, you got to do something that makes you a lot of money. You got to do something you love to do. And I guess I wasn't ever a firefighter. My friend was a firefighter. My friend's dad was a firefighter chief, actually. And he had this awesome car. And I was like, oh, man, I love that. Let's talk about what we're talking about today, though. $100 an hour. You want to make your own schedule. You want to be your own boss. You want to name your own price. And you want to work in the music industry. You can become a piano tuner. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to show you the exact step that you need to take to ensure your success. So don't flip around here on YouTube all day and just go watch a bunch of different random videos. It's time to get serious about this. And at the end, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it. I'm going to check up here for any chats coming in. I got the chat window open in case you guys chat me. All right. We're going to talk about building your life. And that's what happened when I became a piano tuner. I was well aware of being able to build my life and my family. And that's the one thing I'm going to share with you right up front. When I became a piano technician, I was able to do something that I'll never, I'm always going to be grateful for this. And it's about my family. I was able to do what I call daddy days. My son was born. I had been tuning for a couple years, so I was kind of like into tuning. And I was able to take off every Thursday and just do stuff with him. This is Augie. Here we are. We're bowling. And here we go. You can make your own schedule because we were out biking. We made this bike, actually. We painted it. We did this. These are middle of the day. These are Thursdays in the middle of the day and other random times when I just didn't have any appointments. Sometimes I took Augie to the studio with me. So I got to go to, this is inside MTSU Studios, and he could just come with me and hang out. And after that, we would go to the cafeteria at MTSU when they had it. Before COVID, they had the cafeteria, and you could get all you can eat for like $8 or something. It was like student. My son loved that stuff. But time with your family when you want. That's what piano tuning did for me. And this last picture, here's my last family picture. This is one of my favorite pictures. This is a coffee shop. We would go down here. We started going when he was a little boy, like this little, right? And then this is, maybe he was 6 years old, 7 years old here. He looks bigger than that, but you can free up your time. This is one of my favorite pictures. This is just an average day in the life of Daddy Day. But how did I get to Daddy Day? I got there by making a simple decision to do piano tuning. So let's talk about that. What does it really look like? because right now you are in the right place. It is the right time for you to become a piano tuner. You can tune for schools, universities, churches, music schools, music teachers, recording studios, restaurants. All these different places have pianos, and there's a lot of pianos out there. Many piano tuners retire every month. And these men and women who have been tuning for decades, they build up thousands of clients. They turn off their phones and they just retire. Or they pass away. That does happen too. I'd rather just have them retire and go off and do something wonderful. My mentor, Jack, told me one time, he said, piano tuners don't retire, we die. And that's because you can really tune pianos and you can slow down, you can speed up, you can work really hard, you can work kind of easy, you can just make your own schedule. So let's talk about this. People always say, are there really enough pianos to tune to make a full-time living? And heck, yes, there are enough pianos to make a full-time living. And I'm going to open up my business and show you my numbers. But let's see, when you want to be a piano tuner and you think, well, what is it going to be like? I'm going to take you, before we talk about numbers and get all geeked out on that, which is really my favorite topic, is numbers. I really like talking about numbers and showing people actually how to make the business work. But I know you guys, if you're new in this and you're thinking, well, what is it like? How does it work? Being a piano tuner. What is it? Is it like I'm going to go get a job at a place and I'm going to tune pianos all day? No. Well, you're going to launch your Apex style piano tuning website and Google listings. So you're going to launch your own business. You're going to own your own business. You're going to use an automated booking system. I use Gazelle. It's the best in the world. It works really well. So I'm going to show you how to hook that all up. If you're in Apex, you'll know how to hook this up. People will find you on the internet. They'll call you up, or they'll go on and they'll book you online, and you'll go to their house and you'll tune their piano. That's you there tuning their piano. In about 2 hours, you'll make anywhere from $175 to $275 profit, and you can do upsells and repairs. So let's just say that's basically how it works. You're going to make your own business. So the day in the life, you can come with me, and I'm going to show you throughout this webinar just what it's really like to be a piano tuner and how it really sets out. So let's say you do get that appointment. You get that first appointment. So you go ahead and you drive to their house. You greet the client, ding dong on the door. Hey, I'm the piano tuner. They're all happy to see you. Their piano's out of tune. You inspect the piano, and then you tune the piano. You can get right down to business. You fill out a condition report. You do the upselling. Tell them, hey, your piano needs this. It needs that. I noticed while I was tuning it, they had some loose pens. I can fix that. You give them the invoice. You get paid. You say, hey, I'd like to be able to do this every 6 months for you. Keep it really good in tune. They say, yeah, let's rebook for 6 months from now. You put them on your rebooking list. Go get a cup of coffee and repeat it. You can do that as many times as you want, and you can make as much money as you really want. So how is a piano tuned? How is it really tuned? It's tuned one string at a time. Okay, so I have a video that I'm going to roll for you guys in this webinar. I'm going to have this video. This is me tuning a single string and tuning a unison. It kind of shows you, so once you get in there, it's like, oh, what are you going to do with these mutes and this tuning hammer and this little computer? This is what it would look like to tune a piano. How is a piano tuned one string at a time? Watch this. All right, let's put the whole process together. We're going to tune this middle C. I'm going to mute out with my two mutes, the right and the left, and I'm going to make sure I'm on the right pen, follow my hammer up, and I'm going to tune C to stop the lights. It's a little flat right now. I'm going to pull it up and tune it perfectly to the lights. Notice I give just a little bit of a harder blow at the end. The lights are rolling a little to the left. Is that perfect enough? Probably good enough for now, but I'm going to do it again. I just want to pull it up. Just hit the note, so I'm pushing down. And I get those lights to stop on that middle string. Now all I have to do is simply reach down and remove the right mute. I move it over to the other set of strings to get it out of the way. Now I'm listening to that middle string and that right string, okay? And so it sounds out of tune. Make sure I have a good angle on my tuning hammer. I'm going to pull back to get that above. Now I'm just going to tap it down. Till they sound like one string. Now, to train your ear with your eye using your tuning device, you simply reach in You know the middle string is perfect to the device. You can mute out that middle string with your finger. So you just touch that middle string. And so just listen to the right string you just tuned and look at the meter. It's dead stopped. So my ear was really good on that one. If it's not dead stopped, it will show you you're a little flat, you're a little sharp. You can start over. If you're flat, you got to come pull up again and start over. Just a little yank. So now we got that down. The middle and the right sound like one. Sounds very good. You're going to remove the left mute. Okay, now you take the left mute, move it over to where it's muting out the right string. So now you are hearing the middle and the left. Okay? Take your tuning hammer, move it to the top pin. Make sure it's in a good orientation. So you don't want it over here at 3 o'clock, either at noon or 11. Now you're going to listen to this left string with the middle string. And you're going to hear this wah, ya, 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 ya. You can even mute that middle string and see that that left string is very flat. Those lights are going to the left really hard. So I'm going to tune that left string to the middle. I'm going to pull up just a little bit. You can hear when it's kind of where it needs to be. Now you can even check. So I pulled it sharp, and that's what I wanted to do. So I'm going to start pushing down. Till it sounds like one string. Now, as you're using your ear and your eye together, your eye is really training your ear. You can reach down and touch that middle string, so all you are going to hear is that left string now. And look at the meter and see how close you are. Dead on. Now if you want to, you can keep going. You can go to the C sharp, and you have the middle string already open. And that's why the walking mute works. It's going to walk you all the way up the piano. But now you can take out all the mutes and listen to those 3 strings. This is a 3-string unison sounding like one single string. All right, so you see the idea right there. It's just basically one string at a time. You do that on the piano, and that gives you guys in the webinar. I like to throw that in here just to give you a sense of like what it feels like, what it sounds like to tune a piano, what's going on inside there, and what tools you're going to be using. And really, when you look at that, you got to really know anyone can do this. Do you have to be a musician? No, you don't have to be a musician to be a piano tuner. In fact, one of my mentors was an airplane mechanic and a piano tuner on the side. Do you have to know how to run a business? No, you don't have to know how to run a business to be a piano tuner, and you don't have to really do any of those things. I mean, you will be running a business, but in the Apex Mentorship, I'm going to show you everything you need to do step by step, how to run a business and how to make this successful. In fact, the less you know, the better up front. So if you don't know anything about this, running businesses, tuning pianos, everything like that, you're actually the perfect candidate for this because you want to get on the right road for success. My local business here in Nashville and in Dayton has over 100 5-star review ratings, Apex Piano, and this has been what I've been doing. We have over 4,000 clients, and you can see in 2022 we did over 686 appointments in that 1 year. I doubled my business every year for 5 years, and in 2021 I paid my Apex tuner in Dayton. He works just 3 days a week. I paid him $79,000. That was his take. So he billed over $100,000 that year. So let's back up 18 years. Let's back up to the beginning. And this all started with one piano on fire. You know, for me, I was a worship leader at a church. I was making full-time living as a full-time music director, and somebody donated this piano that was in a fire to the church. And so I wasn't a piano tuner. People had been telling me for years, you should tune pianos. One of my high school mentors had told me, yeah, I tuned pianos. I made my way through college tuning pianos. And I just thought it sounded kind of boring. Didn't really think too much about it until this piano comes in the church. And I called Jack. He was my piano tuner when I was a kid. And he was the guy that inspired me to do this. He started working on that old piano that was on fire. And he told me, he said, hey, if you will do just the dirty work, I'll give your church a really good discount. We'll restring this piano. We'll get it playing. It's a nice piano. It's like a Yamaha Grand. And it had just been, it wasn't as bad as that piano in that picture. That was pretty bad. That was a real bad fire. This piano had black soot all in the strings, all in the action, but it wasn't in the room that was on fire. I don't even know how this could even be possible. Look at that. The whole building is like burned to the ground and the piano's sitting there. But it's a good picture anyway. It gets the point across. And Jack told me, you should do this. You should do piano tuning. And so we started working on that piano, and I started helping Jack. And I started taking an online correspondence course, and he was just helping me. If I have questions, I'd call him and ask him, and I'd stop down at the piano store and just, talk to him and stuff like that. But he really inspired me to do this, and I started tuning a few pianos. I got about 6 pianos donated to the church that year, and I was messing with them and tuning them and playing with them. And then, it happened. I lost my job. They called me in on a Monday morning, and I knew it was a bad sign when your pastor's calling you in on a Monday meeting, because Monday's like every pastor's day off mostly. So I go in there, and he's like, and I just knew it was coming. I knew the church was financially struggling. I knew that it was probably going to be bad, and I went in there, and he said, yeah, that was your last Sunday, and that was my last job, and that's the last time I ever worked for anybody. I decided right then that I was just going to do it on my own. I was just going to go figure out how to make my own money. I always wanted to be entrepreneurial. I always had kind of done like music lessons and done things like that. Having a job was kind of cool. They give you a paycheck, they give you an office, and you just do stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I really was an entrepreneur. I didn't like to be told what to do. I didn't like to go to staff meetings. I didn't like to, be sitting around listening to a bunch of reports. I hated that stuff. So I just said, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to be a piano tech. Jack's doing it. He told me he was making $600 a day. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do what Jack did. And I said, Jack, I'm doing this. I doubled my business every year from that starting point. I put myself out there. I got my first 100 clients. Let's talk about my first client. I just went up to a pastor at a church and said, hey, your piano sounds out of tune. You want me to tune it? And he said, yeah, you're a piano tuner? Great. Yeah, when can you come? I came that Monday. I tuned the piano. That was my first paying gig. I just walked up and said, hey, your piano needs tuned. What I learned in that early phase is there aren't very many piano tuners, hardly any piano tuners anywhere. So if you have that skill and you put yourself out there, it's really easy to get the work. I mean, there just aren't that many high skill level piano tuners out there. There just are not, guys. So I built my business from the ground up. I built this. Second year, I had 200 clients. By my third year, I felt like I was becoming a master at this. I had 400 clients. My reputation and marketing were working. I had my stuff all over YouTube, all over Google. I was getting all these ratings. And I think I still wasn't using Gazelle. I was still doing my own little sort of online booking thing. And I built my own framework, and I've got this checklist for you. I made all the mistakes. I figured out the successful moves. I built this myself in 2 different states. I've walked my students through the process to amazing success, and I'm going to help you do the same from launch to 1,000 clients. Now, you're like, well, maybe that's just crazy. Maybe you did this and you just got really lucky, because I believe in that. Sometimes you just get really lucky. You do something, right place, right time, boom, you get success. But no, that's not true. My students have done this as well. This is TJ. He made over $50,000 his first year. He started the mentorship about 1.5 years ago, started tuning after about 2 months. That's right. He started after 2 months. He was flat broke, and he's like, I got to do this. I want to make this happen. And he made over $50,000 in his first year in business. He owns Oak and Ivory Piano, and he got that huge win. So let's talk about the numbers, and I'm going to talk about some of my students as I go through here. What are the numbers like? What's a piano tuner like? I mean, we charge $150 for a tuning. That's basically around the country. You can charge around $150 for a tuning, and you can do, let's say you started out simply just doing that 5 times a week, then you're making $37,000 a year working only 10 hours a week. This would be great if you were thinking, oh, I want a side hustle, or I want to be a weekend warrior. I just want to go on the weekend and make a bunch of money, and then the rest of the week I'll just work at my job. And that's great. I mean, that's a lot of money if you were just doing a side hustle. That's a great side hustle, under 10 hours a week. And you want to grow it to full time though. Let's say, what if you just don't want a side hustle, you just don't want to work anymore, but you want to not be poor, you want to make some money. Let's turn up the gas on these numbers. You can charge $175 for a piano tuning. I do, and I charge even more than that sometimes. And you do 9 of these a week, you have a weekly income of $1,500. You're working still part-time, guys. This is really important that we understand. This is working part-time, making $78,000 a year, and it's totally doable. You'll have time for family, time for creativity, time for ministry or volunteer work. And I wanted you to look at this number. The per capita income for the United States in 2020 was $59,765. $59,000 in 2020 per capita income. So you can work part-time and make over the per capita income. Or if you say like, I'm ready to go full time, I got plenty of time to work, I want more money, I want to drive a nicer car, I want a bigger house, I got savings for college for kids, whatever. We all want to make more money, right? Remember that old commercial? Do you want to make more money? Sure, we all do. That's the commercial. I love that commercial. In fact, I need to spoof that commercial, and I'm going to. It's a great commercial. You're probably, if you're not old like me, you won't remember that commercial, but those of you who do, she was like, do you want to make more money? Sure, we all do. You can go to community college. $160,000 plus, you can do repairs and upsells. So your income can get really big and you can be running a really successful business. In fact, I was sitting in a meeting once and one of the main piano tech teachers from the national convention was there, and he said, if you're not making $80,000 a year, you are doing something extremely wrong. And that was real early in my career. I wasn't making that at that point. And I was like, wow, these guys are they're killing it. Another one of my students is Joe. Joe took the mentorship for about 2.5 years. Joe is actually now huge success for Joe. In May 2025, he did over $5,000 just in tunings, and he upsold over $25,000 in action regulations and rebuilds. That's in May and June. So he's killing it right now, stacking up the cash in his young business. He's only been in business about 2 years, but Joe says Eric at Apex Piano is an amazing way to get started. And to really learn what it's like to do the trade. He tells you how it is. He's an amazing teacher, and he made the scary and daunting task of tuning a piano something I can tackle with confidence, believing that I can do a good job. And Joe did such a good job at tuning pianos. He's making all that money, and I hired Joe last year. We collaborated, should I say we collaborated on this new course called Oral Tuning the Apex Way. And Joe teaches most of this whole course, and I helped him kind of write it, and we did some podcasting. It's a great course. I think probably the best course in the world on how to do oral tuning and pass the RPT test for Piano Technicians Guild. Joe did it. He wrote the course. He's on there. He passed it. Huge scores, like 100% across the board, almost perfect scores. And even the testers were like, what in the heck? How long have you been doing this? He's a year and a half. And they were blown away. Joe learned how to use hammer control, how to use tension, everything through the Apex Way tuning course. He took that knowledge and went in and just pretty much aced the Registered Piano Technicians Guild course. Yesterday, he texted me and said, I'm tuning for Andy Grammer this week. So Joe is on his way. He's killing it. He's actually, at his age, he's going to be decades of success are in his future. Really great story. Joe did it. He's only been in the mentorship 2 years. Karina, she's launched her own business. She tunes for MTSU recording studio program here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. She quit working low-paying jobs, and she writes songs. I like one of her songs. I've been singing it. It's called like High Alert. I'm not going to sing it on here, but I sing it like almost every day. I love that song, Karina. I know you probably don't. I don't even know if you published that, but she's a songwriter. But she's able to do this now as a piano tuner. She does some contracting for me, but she owns her own business, Greenway Piano Tuning. She's certified as a certified tech, and she's got all these great reviews. She does a fantastic job, and she's been able to make a lot of change. I mean, going from being a waitress or like a server at a restaurant, making $15-20 maybe tops an hour, now she's making like $150-200 an hour. Emerson Gale, he's a music teacher. He increased his income. He has a whole thing up in the Upper Valley, East Central Vermont. He's a really cool guy. I like this guy. He's got such a great, I think he's got one of my favorite logos. I don't have it here. I don't have it on this webinar, but if you look up his website, Emerson Gale, if you look up his website, you'll see it. Music. He's an Apex certified piano tech. He's a music pro, community expert, plays violin. He does some like repairs on those things. He's got all of these people, and he realized, well, I've got all these people in my business, and there's no piano tuners up here. So he increased his revenue. Emerson texted me a couple months ago, and he said, man, I'm starting to do it. I'm averaging about $600 a day. So that's what he's smiling about, because, you know, when you're Emerson, you're running a business, you got a family, you're trying to make things meet. $600 extra a day is huge. It's game changing, guys. This is absolutely game changing. So I'm throwing out all these crazy numbers. Let's do a day in my life, a day in the life of a piano tuner. Now, I'll leave the house around 9:30. This is a standard day. I'll tune one piano at 10 o'clock, charge $225. I'll take a break, tune another piano around noon. I'll do a pitch raise maybe on that one. That's $325. That's an upsell. I'll maybe eat lunch around 1:30, and then maybe I'll do one more appointment, a pedal repair, stop and fix something, $275. That's $875 right there in one single simple day. And that's a pretty low key day, guys. That's a real low key day. A couple tunings and a little repair. Nothing. I can do this almost with my eyes closed. I've been doing it so long, and you'll get there too. A simple day, if I want to be done by 12:30. So let's say like I don't want to work all day today. I just want to work a little bit in the morning and be done, you know. So a simple day, I'd leave the house around 8, get to my first tuning at 9, and then I'd be doing that for $225. And then I'd just go straight on from that tuning. I'd tune for about an hour and a half, get in the car. Hopefully my schedule works out to where I don't have to drive too far, drive right to my next tuning at 11:30, $225. I'm done for the day. I'm going to go to lunch. I'm going to go to the bike shop. I'm going to go look at my Harley. I'm going to do whatever I want to, pick up my son, go bowling. I go home and take a nap. I've already made $450. No, I'm not kidding. I do take a nap. I love taking naps. I've been taking too many naps lately. I will admit you to that. I've had a lot of stress lately, so I've been taking a lot more naps. But, you know, it's also really hot. It's like 95 degrees out here by noon. And so it's like, you know what? What else am I going to do? I'm going to take a nap. And I've already made enough money for the day. I'm not stressing about that, right? I'm working part-time. That's the point. I want to have more time for my family. Let's say I go... and I'm going to do a big day, a big regulation day, make a bunch of money. Let's say I have to change this because, that's okay. I'll leave it there. I'll pack my lunch. I'm going to do a regulation on this day. I'll leave by 9. I'll get there around 10. I don't like getting there too early. I just don't. Especially when I'm traveling, I like to give myself some breathing room in the morning. Do Krav Maga, go to the gym, take a bike ride, make coffee, play with my dog. I love my little puppy. I might take him for a couple walks in the morning. I'm doing all that stuff, so I don't want to get up and I don't want the alarm hitting me so early and have to rush off to work. Plus, in a regulation day, I'm going to pack up my truck. I've got some more tools, so I give myself some breathing room in those days, but I'm still going to get there around 10. And I'm going to eat lunch while I'm working. I'm not going to lunch break on this day because I just like to work. I've got the piano taken apart. I'm in somebody's home and I'm done by 2:00 and I've made around $1,500. This is a $1,500 day. So that's what I charge for regulation. I did one the other day. I just did an Instagram reel. I did a repair in the morning, went over, did a regulation at a church, was done by like 2 or 3 o'clock and made $1,800. All right, guys, this is just a standard way when you build the business in the right way. So any of you guys out there saying, like, I'm trying to be a piano tuner, I'm struggling making money, or I'm trying to be a piano tuner, I don't have any clients. That's what Apex can help you fix. If you're already doing this, but you're like, man, I ain't making that kind of money. How am I doing this? It's not like rocket science. It is a system that I've perfected over these last 18 years. All right, Apex is different. Apex is old school. No, Apex is not old school. Oral methods take years to master. So Apex is using the electronic tuning device. We do not tune the piano completely by ear. We use our ears. We call ourselves hybrid tuners. And it's because doing it all by ear is so old school. I can say that. I don't care. Some people can say like, oh, but it's the best way and all this stuff. And they argue about this for days and days and days on end on the internet. But guys, listen, you can get a simple tuning app like TuneLab, Periscope, Pianoscope, Pianometer. I use the Sanderson AccuTuner. I should probably put that on here. And you follow the lights and you use the Apex tuning method. Now, it's not like a dummy. You can't just go in there like, boom, ding, ding, follow the lights and it makes it happen. You have to know how to attention. You have to understand all the theory of piano tuning. But, I teach you all of that. But the thing is, with Apex, you can start tuning and you can launch your business like TJ did, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Typically, I'd say give yourself about 6 months before you get out there and really launch your business. But 3 to 6 months, you're good, you're gold, as long as you're working on it. Launch in 90 days. Typically in 3 to 6 months, you're doing a 3-year mentorship. You are not alone, and you will have lifetime and alumni community support because the electronic tuning device, the ETD method, you can skip years of struggling. You're going to skip a lot of years of struggling, and you're going to start tuning for pay very quickly. Also, you will be the tuner people call. I get a lot of calls because people had their piano tuned by somebody who just didn't like it. It didn't sound right because they're using these old school oral techniques and they're just not good enough at them. I'm not saying that you couldn't be good at them, but it will take you forever to get good at them. And, it's like, how long do you want to wait to make a lot of money? Like 3, 4, 5 years? You want to do that? No. The Apex is different, and this is why, and that is why. There are 4 main things we focus on. These are the bread and butter. You're going to skip the mistakes, and you want to do this the right way. Now, when I was learning Jack, I would come to Jack with all these crazy ideas. Like, Jack, I'm going to buy pianos, and I'm going to take these pianos, and I'm going to like turn them into furniture, and then I'm going to this and that. And he would just look at me like, okay, no, you're not doing that. That is dumb. It's not going to get you anywhere. And I just kept coming back. Oh, Jack, look at all these pianos. We could take them, take the plate out of them. Oh, I could do this, and I could make artwork out of them. I mean, I had all kinds of ideas because you kind of get into this. I was excited. I liked the piano, and I could see all these different ways that you could make money. And I could see all these people trying to give away free pianos. They're calling me all the time. Hey, do you want my piano? It's free. But the thing is this is not the way to make money. The way to make money as a field tech is tune, repair, regulate, voice. Those are the 4 things Jack kept pounding into my head, and those are the things I'm telling you about. Tune, repair, regulate, voice. That's what I teach you in Apex, and I teach you how to do that at master level. You can charge the highest amount, and you realize there are a lot of piano tuners out there that can't regulate a piano. They can't do it. And so you're going to be well above all those people learning this whole program. The 6-figure trades are booming, guys. You can make 6 figures in trades. And you've probably heard it if you listen to Clark Howard or any of these financial gurus. They're kind of all poo-poo on college now. Go to trade school because, look, electricians, HVAC techs, plumbers, master welders, we have a shortage of them in America. People don't want to work hard. They just want to play on their computer or something. I don't know. But these can eclipse the 6-figure mark annually and often faster than those who have a college degree. We're going to talk about this. This is so fascinating because you can go to college all this time and you just be making like a standard regular income. You can go to these 6-figure trades like electricians, HVACs. You can get paid over $35 an hour. Over $35 an hour. Now that's kind of a big deal, right? $35. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good income. All right. And I'm going to show you why I think piano tuning is just so much better. And it's not like, oh, I'm better than you. It's just like, it's just going to make more sense. Just watch this. You go to a trade school anywhere from $15,000 to $35,000. You can learn all these things, HVAC, electrician. You're up into the $10,000, $20,000. If you want an advanced program like tech, et cetera, like aviation, you're into the $40,000 mark going to trade school. Okay. And let's look at this. When you go to a trade school, you're learning most of these programs are manual labor programs. So look at this guy sweating his butt off. Look, she's on the ground. She's doing, this is manual labor. And that's what I'm saying. This is great. And you can make what, $35 an hour, $40 an hour. You can get up there, maybe $50 an hour. Look at this guy over here. This guy's a piano tuner, right? Okay. This guy's a piano tuner and he's sitting here and he is sitting in this beautiful concert venue area, and he is in air conditioning. He's in a nice white shirt. He's just sitting there. He's not gonna break a sweat today, and he's gonna make more than any of these manual labor trades will. That's how this is. That's why it makes sense to me. Piano tuning, it is an epic trade. Now, I'm not downing any of this, and I'm not downing manual labor at all. I'm just saying, if you want to do manual labor, you can do that for a while. But I've seen guys, they do it, and they get a little bit older, and they'll tell me like, hey man, I got to quit doing this, and my knees hurt, my back hurts. My dad used to say, work harder, work smarter, not harder. He wanted this for me. He wanted me to work smarter. He wanted me not to work harder. And that's what I want for you as well. So we're going to compare this to college in a minute too, and it's going to blow your mind. Piano tuning is an epic trade. You're going to get to do so many cool things. You're going to be in the air conditioning. Not every job is in the air conditioning, but very rarely are you ever outside in the sun, in the heat, in a barn, getting dusty, getting dirty. You're just not going to be doing that stuff. It costs less to learn piano tuning. It takes less time to learn. You can make more money than the other trades. It's not a job. This is your business. You go to a trade school, pay all that money, and most likely, like 80% of the time, probably 75% of the time, you're going to start working for a company, contractors, different things. You're going to be on job sites. You're going to have your boss. They're going to tell you, get here 6 a.m, stay here till it's done, sweat your butt off, and then we'll give you, $30 an hour. So that's what you can get, a job. Piano tuning is not that. And it's not a job, it's your business. So that's a very key element to learn in piano tuning. 60% of people who are confirmed to have a bachelor's degree graduated within 6 years. Okay, the 6-year average cost of attendance for university is $207,000. Guys, This is where this really starts to blow my mind, because in 6 years, that's what it feels like. See this guy right here? He feels like, I've been at this 6 years. When am I ever going to make any money? And I'm going in debt. I've got these school loans. Am I ever going to pay these school loans off? I mean, this is what it feels like. Now, I went to college. I did go to college. I'm not doing my trade in college. I'm being a piano tuner. I went to college. I graduated to become a music teacher. Again, even with that college degree, all those years, I still can make more money as a piano tuner than I can as a public school teacher. That's just the numbers of it. 60% of confirmed bachelor's degree earners graduated within 6 years. Now, guys, here's the payoff. 6 years. You go to get your first job. Now, she seems a lot happier, but the median starting salary for college graduates is $47,000 a year. So she's excited about this. Still, $47,000 a year is the starting salary for college graduates, is $47,000. Now, this is why it is a no-brainer. This costs less to learn than going to college. It's all about money and time, guys. You can start faster. You can make more money. You can become certified in the Apex certification way sooner than you could ever graduate from college and get a job making $47,000 a year. Look, remember, TJ in the back of the slide deck here, TJ made $50,000 his first year out, struggling, just learning how to do this. His first year out, $50,000. Okay, this is not a job. You're a business owner. Now, students that go through the Apex program, they're business owners. Each one of them have independence and control. They have flexibility over their schedule. They have financial gain and equity in their company. In other words, they build their company. They're building something that will pay them well beyond, if they do it right, if they do it the Apex way, they can keep getting paid. Passion and creativity, they have that, and they have community impact and prestige. You know, who wants to go like, I got this job, I work at this place, I got a boss, I got to do this. You know what I hated most about a job? I mean, besides going to staff meetings and listening to everybody's problems all the time, and not being, the thing I hated the most was, like, I wanted to go on vacation. I needed to go out of town with my family, and I had to get out a little piece of paper and fill it out, and I had to send it into my boss and request time off. Like, I want to have this Sunday off and this week off. I had to do all that because, you know, they had to tell me if I could get the day off, you know, and that I don't know, that always bothered me, because I mean, you just have to, I guess you have to be, I wanted to be independent. I wanted to do my own thing, but I had to go ask my boss, like, I'm going to ask my daddy if I can get the week off. And it really would stink if they'd be like, no, you can't have that week off. You know, so-and-so already requested that week off. You'll have to change your plans. Well, guys, this is my favorite slide. And if this excites you, then I think you're in the right place. Goodbye, 9 to 5. It's over. I'm done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't have to ask my boss if I can go somewhere and do whatever. I just change my schedule around and I do whatever the heck I want to. All right. Guys, you might be thinking, yeah, I want to do this, but how am I going to do this? I'm not going to figure all this out. This sounds like crazy. This is it's starting a business and running a business and all the stuff that I'm hearing. It's not rocket science. And the biggest part of this is you are not alone. You now have available to you a master piano technician mentor right here, and I will show you exactly what I can bring to you and how I can help you start this in your city, okay? I can give you guidance and advice. My mentors did this for me, and that's really what Apex is about. I'm going to do it for you. A mentor is someone who has amassed significant experience in their field. They can provide valuable advice and guidance, and that's what I can do for you. Skills and knowledge. Mentors help you acquire and refine key skills faster than learning them on your own. I can help you do that too. It's going to save you time and money. It's really important. A mentor brings perspective. Just like Jack, when I called him up, Jack, I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm going to make all this happen. He would tell me, no, that's not going to work. If you do that, it's going to be a problem. Please don't do that. Please just stick with the 4 pillars of this business, the bread and butter. But that's what they can offer you: constructive criticism and help you identify your strengths and weaknesses, and support and encouragement. I know I never would have made it this far without my mentors. That's why Apex is a mentorship, one of the only ones in the world that is offering support and encouragement through a one-on-one mentorship and online courses. We are the only one-on-one mentorship in the world that does text, chat, Zoom call. For reals, it is one-on-one, and it's a community as well. You're going to get all that. Let's talk about that. If you want to get going, if you're thinking, I want to do this, I'd love to do this. Sounds great. Like, I'd like to make a lot of money. I'd like to, have my own business. I'd like to do something that made me a lot of money so I didn't have to work anymore, and then I could love what I'm doing. I can work with pianos, work with people, work with music. Well, it's in the Apex Mentorship, and I'm going to give you a rundown, and then I'm going to show you what your next step is today. You can take that first step today. It's pretty simple to do. You're going to learn in the module. It's all modular now. Apex is a modular system. You can master piano tuning the Apex way. You're going to have guided courses. You're going to learn expert repairs in the second module, sticking keys, broken keys, complete action repair course. You're going to learn how to be a regulation expert. This is our regulation module in our master series. Remember, you can become a certified piano technician. You can also become a certified master piano technician. So once you know how to do action regulation, your income will boom. Remember, I charged $1,500 for this service, and Joe from earlier sold $25,000 in regulations and rebuilds in doing this service. So that was within like 2 months he did that. We're going to teach you how to voice pianos. Nobody else teaches you this. This was field voicing is one of those things as an early tech that you're like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do. And nobody really wants to show you, but I'm going to show you exactly how the masters do this, and you are going to be a master at it. Launch your own business the Apex way. In the business and marketing section, the Catalyst Marketing course, I wrote this years ago. It shows exactly how to launch your business, launch your website, and get on the top of Google so you can crush your competition. I'm all about crushing the competition. Now, it's fine. You can have friends out there, but when you're in business, you're there to make money. You got to be competitive, and you got to have the best product, the best price, and you got to be out there getting it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I hold nothing back. You get up close field videos. They're easy to follow. You can have my YouTube channels obviously up there, but all these back-end videos, there's thousands of them. Thriving online community in Bolster. I've built my own platform on Bolster. Bolster is our platform. It's a VIP community just of people that are going through the mentorship, and they're sharing all of their things, asking questions. I'm in there. I'm direct communication right here on Bolster. So guys, you can get in there on Bolster too as well. You'll have that community. You won't be alone. So the complete mentorship includes 4 modules plus the business launch and VIP community. Okay, so this is an amazing place to start. Plus, I'm going to be giving you guys everything you need to be successful. Your success is important to me because I don't like my students to fail. I like them to actually go like, you know what? Hey, I liked it when I get messages. Hey, I made $1,000 today. Hey, I'm tuning for, Andy Grammer today. Hey, I made $600 on average every day that I'm out tuning. I'm going to give you the Apex Master classes, change piano strings, how to do cleaning. I make a ton of money cleaning pianos, and it's an overlooked service that people just don't do. I'm going to give you custom Apex condition reports with your business name, your logo, and teach you how to soft sell, upsell to make more money. I mean, the first time I did an upsell, I wrote on there, it was like $900, and I handed it to the client, and they said, okay, well, when can you do it? It was like, I was like, oh, okay. So I'm just writing up what I want to do, how much it is. And it's all very easy to do. It's very soft sell. You don't even have to be really that good at selling. You can just offer your services with confidence and give them a good price, and they'll usually say, yeah, let's do it. I'm going to give you website templates. This is Karina's website, but you can look at the different students that I have. You can build your website over a weekend. I'm going to give you my Gazelle templates. These are my email templates that work so you can actually retain your clients. These are things you need to do. These are things that took me almost 2 decades to create. I'm going to give you my full Apex Google Drive access, every graphic template, business card, postcard, car magnet, stock image, custom reminder templates. I'm going to give it all to you. That's going to happen, and it's going to save you, probably 5 years of farting around trying to figure out how to do stuff. You're not going to do that. You're going to go into the Google Drive. Hey, I need to do this. I need a car magnet. I've already designed it all. It's all right there for you. The Apex Business Framework Checklist, you'll have that. It shows you over a 3-year period what you should do. Remember, you can launch your business really quickly, but to get to that really big income, you need a couple years of development. You need to know how to regulate. You need to upsell. All these pieces will work together, and I'm going to show them to you in a very easy way in the Business Framework Checklist. This is a proprietary business launch Nobody else has this. You can mess around with all kinds of other online courses online, and you still will just be like, okay, so I got to do this, then I have to tune a piano, and then how do I make money, and then how do I get repeat business? All these things are solved when you're following the Apex Way. You're going to be certified either a CPT or as a CMPT, a certified piano technician is that first level certification. You can get that pretty quick, learning to tune and do some basic repairs, and then you can become a certified master piano technician. And certified master piano technicians are featured listings on the APTN site, so people will see you, that you're right there, that you're a certified tech. And guys, if you do the whole mentorship, if you're ready to do the whole mentorship, I'm going to throw in a couple bonuses. And right now, I'm giving you the tools that you need. I'm going to send these to your door. Okay, so you can get the tuning app on your phone. There's one that's like $35. There's one that's $300. There's a couple different versions of the tuning apps you can get. But I'm going to send you the tuning hammer and mute kit that I use. This is important because some people, and I've done reviews on Amazon, you get little cheap kits and stuff like that. That's fine. But at some point, everybody's like, hey, I need a better hammer. So I'm just going to give that to you when you do the whole mentorship. And it's a great future. It's possible. I've done it. I've seen others do it. And now it's your turn. Now it's your turn to do it. So all you have to do at this point, it's pretty much the end of the webinar. All you have to do, if you want to go forward, if you want to discuss your city, if you want to discuss your business, your life, everything about your situation with me, you're going to talk specifically directly to me, then all you have to do is go to apexpiano.com and click on apply. Okay? Click on apply now. Simply fill out the application, and on the very next page, it's going to give you a chance to book a Zoom call with me. So all you have to do is click apply. Okay? All you have to do is go to www.apexpiano.com, click apply, and then after you do that, it's going to give you some very specific instructions on making sure that you watch the whole webinar and then making sure that you click book and book a Zoom call with me. We can do a phone call, like an old school, like phone call, or we can do a Zoom call. We're actually on Zoom and we can look face to face, talk about your actual process. I look up your town. We talk about some of the competitors in your area. We talk about your skill level, your goals, your financial goals, what you want to do, what you want to get. And then I'm going to show you how you can start the Apex mentorship, how you can afford it. If you don't have money, if you're like, man, I want to do this, but I'm broke, that's okay, because I'm going to also talk to you about how you can use other people's money. I call it OPM, to pay for the mentorship. You don't even have to pay for it yourself if you get really creative. And that's what it is like to be an entrepreneur. Nobody just hands you a business and hands you a big wad of cash and says, get off, go on to the sunset and be successful. Usually the very first obstacle of starting any business is like, okay, I got to have a game plan and I have some money to do this. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about all that. I understand. I've been there. I've been right where you are. So if you need help getting started, go to www.apexpiano.com, click apply, or you can also, I'm giving you my cell phone number right here. You can just send me a text and say, hey, I want in. I want to do this. I want to know what this is all about. Get me the information right there. 615-926-2491. I'm going to leave that on the screen for a few minutes. Check my chats. And hopefully I'll be able to talk to you guys in the next week, even this week. I've got very special deals for you. I've got very good ways that you can finance the program if you're just flat broke, or if you I'm ready to invest in business. I've been looking for something to do. This is a very small investment compared to anything you're going to get into. This is a very, very affordable trade school, and also it has a huge, as you've seen, financial payoff for you. So I'm going to give you this opportunity to text me, or just go right to apexpiano.com, click apply now, and then you'll be able to book a call with me. Guys, if you have any questions, you let me know. I'll be here.